We're at the annual SBE picnic for Seattle's Chapter 16, and right behind me is the Cairo Transmitter Facility. Now this is one of the oldest facilities on the West Coast, very historic, and we're going to go inside and tour this. And I also understand that this is one of the first, if not the first, 50 kilowatt AM transmitter site on the West Coast. Now that's pretty cool. So we're going to tour this, we'll have some food, some fun, some fellowship, and there might be some extra surprises later on, so let's go. This is one of the neatest old transmitter buildings that I've ever been in. Right behind me are the front doors of the building. Come check this out. These two transmitters you see here are the legendary 317 C1 and C2 models, which were made by Continental Electronics. First introduced in 1966, the 317 series was the workhorse of the era and powered most of the 50 kilowatt AM stations of the day, often referred to as flamethrowers due to the long distances that their signals would travel, especially at night. The gray unit you see here was the very first 317 C1 model that was produced. Cairo took delivery of it in 1978. Its existence is now threatened by a future transmitter replacement that may force it to be removed. Let's hope that there's some way to preserve it. This is the legendary Optimod AM processor. When I began my broadcasting career in 1984, the well-engineered radio station had one of these in the air chain. Back in the days when AM radio was large and in charge, nearly all had music formats, and the Optimod created a bright, clear, and open sound that had not been heard before on AM radio. Some units in the 1980s were equipped for stereo, as this was the era of AM stereo sound. Unlike the gritty AM IBOC sound of today, analog AM stereo still had a gentle warmth about it without sounding muddy. Listen to this clip now.
As around the sun the earth knows she's revolving, and the rosebuds know to bloom in early May. Just as hate knows love's the cure, you can rest your mind assured that I'll be loving you always.
This is a Gates radio console. Every radio station in America had a console much like this back in the 50s and 60s, and this is how all the great radio programs were delivered back in the day. So that was a 1960s era radio console, but back here in this room I found the ultimate console collection. Come on.
Pack recorders and columns. They used to be everywhere around here.
Yeah. I got that because...
Look at this, we have an RCA console. It's got lots of channel input buttons, rotary phones. This one here is a little bit younger. Down here we have the workhorse of the late 70s, 80s, 90s, the BMX series console. There's a Rockwell. And up here is a CCA. Now, CCA is legendary. I personally have never used one of these things, but I've heard stories about them. This is something more modern, a Logitech. So probably all digital. And then back over here was this stereo Gates. So if you had an FM station back in the 60s, early 70s, this is the console you would have. Now, every good transmitter site needs a bunker. Here we are. Whoa. So we got permission to go down in the bunker. Let's go down there and see what's going on. Wow, this is pretty cool. Going back here and check it out. So it looks like we have an emergency broadcast facility here if we ever need to broadcast anything.
Hopefully, this will be the before and then we'll have some after video.
Okay. So are you planning on renovating these then?
Yeah, I would like to, at least to make it a usable space.
Sure.
I can display more stuff.
There you go.
They had a floor drain or a drain for the roof that failed and flooded this side.
Uh-huh.
And underneath this floor is actually sand. So when you come into this area, you'll see the actual cement floor. So we've actually taken the cement floor on this side. But there were two apartments. That was the living room, bedroom, bathroom area of one apartment. And then this over here, had a bathroom. That would have been the office that we were in, was on the other side of that wall.
Okay.
And then this was a separate bedroom, living room, kitchen. So there were two apartments here.
So do they have two engineers on the site?
They had probably 5 or 6. They owned a farmhouse over there. They still own the house. So they were easily 5 or 6. Yeah. Well, again, they couldn't remote control the transmitter. They were taking readings, sometimes every 3 hours.
Yeah.
So eventually, the goal of mine is to just get the ceiling up to this is what we had the original build. The museum put a donut maker and a coffee machine here when the power goes out on our But yeah, these were once very nice. So
Yeah. It's a comfortable house.
this is what happens when large corporations go off and run.
We have a serious problem. We need a beer church key, a beer cap opener, unless somebody around here is good at it with their teeth.
So quite a bit of time to work. I mean, just to get staffing on board.
Video.
Yes, sir.
I have one white stripe.
Samuel the lawyer, this, and ever since they were little.
The entire century. Yeah, wow. So, yeah, and we came back and we priced it out, and we were looking probably about 60.
The Russian collusion party. Just kidding. I'm still waiting for him to come out and say, I did not have foreign relations with that country. Anyway, all right, we're enough with the bad comedy because this is not the time or the place. We're all going to put aside our differences today, and we're going to enjoy ourselves here at the 12th annual SBE Chapter 16 Summer Fun Picnic. Yay! I'm so glad you guys are here. I get to be your host today. Our chairperson is not able to be with us since she is working with the Mariners. And the Mariners seem to be a busy team. They're always playing. And yeah, so if you, yeah, 710 Cairo, keep promoting. So anyway, I just want to say that you know, this chapter is a great chapter, and I can't thank you guys enough for being here and supporting us. And we couldn't do it without the support of the volunteers or our other supporters, BSW, Hatfield and Dawson Consulting Engineers, yes, and as well as Cairo 710, and all the folks that work there and keep this transmitter going. This historic transmitter, and we'll learn more about that in a little bit as Mr. Hatfield will be giving us a presentation. There's so much to do today. We've got a presentation inside about the history of Vashon Island transmitters, specifically this one, and we've got a tour that you could sign up for. And I see we've got some names on there already, so that's there they are. That's great. We got a tour that will happen. I guess we'll do a carpool with that, right, guys? Or caravan, however you want to do it. But that'll probably be one of the things at the end. But before we do that, though, we'll have we have a pin ceremony to give all the folks that got certified within the last year. We're going to give them their pins. We've got a scholarship to give away. Or actually announce the winners of those. We've got a new board to announce. We've got the Chief Engineer of the Year award to give away, and we also have a GoPro camera that is in some swag by BSW, one of our main sponsors. So, Rick, you want to hold that GoPro camera up and let everyone see that? So,
GoPro Hero.
$1.
$2.
We have tickets, and we're going to give the tickets to the members when we do the drawing, so stick around for that. That'll be the last thing we do today, but do be sure to take advantage of the tour that's offered here and enjoy the camaraderie between each other. What else I want to say? Food, yes.
Food.
We have a wonderful spread, so and you guys can start eating right now. We've got the, as you can see, it's lined up over here. You start on the left, you can get your chips, and my wife Cheryl said the best thing to do is to have dessert first, so she put the dessert on the first thing you come to, and then you just work your way across, and there's pulled pork on the steam table there, and the barbecue sauce next to it. I labored over that for you guys yesterday, so smoking the pulled pork. I hope you like it. So, but
Pictures of it.
I didn't go as far as killing the pig, but anyway. And then Terry's cooking the burgers. Thank you, Terry, for doing that again this year.
Yeah. Well done, Gary.
Well done. medium, right? Well, yeah. You gotta
But I
find a
just
laser
want to say
one.
few words about the chapter and how I really appreciate it, and I think it's such a great chapter because we have solid principles, and I'll go through some of these. I was thinking about, well, what do we got? We believe in sharing. A lot of stuff like the history of the broadcasting industry in this area. Such as what's going on today, and sharing the knowledge of what happens in the business world relating to broadcasting around here, and the stories that happen every day. I mean, the accomplishments we achieve. We believe in teaching, and that is our we could say our Bates Technical College involvement with that. We definitely like to stay in touch with the new students that are going through this. They made a decision to go into broadcasting, and we want to help support them. We also like teaching about other things to keep our members informed, such as the frequency change that's going on right now with the television industry. So that's another thing we like doing. Another strong principle is we're growing, we're ever growing in this ever-changing industry. And as you know, it's a never shrinking industry really, but we try to stay together and we try to promote what we do and how to make our jobs easier, and get to know each other to help each other in that way. We also believe in praising those who through unbelievable methods and endeavors, who just they move forward. They continue to educate themselves and get certified. And we absolutely believe, as you'll see with our pen ceremony and our awards today. And also we believe in supporting. We help each other, especially like Terry will help me out last week when my transmitter needed to be turned on and I couldn't be there. So support is the main thing, is one of the things that we really care about here, and we're all about promoting career direction and helping any members that happen to be sick and whatever. So sharing, teaching, growing, praising, and support. I believe those are very strong values of what we do in this organization, and I'm sure you folks agree with me, and that's why you all are here today. So let's begin to eat. We'll have another meeting right after we eat. We got to take care of some business, and then we'll start the awards and all that. So enjoy yourself, and Jim's going to say something here.
I was just going to make one suggestion. Let's let our first timers go first in line today. So if this is the first time you've been at this picnic, start in right now. Go for it.
Okay, we now return to regular programming.
This is my first time this year. Does that...
Yeah, there's enough blackberries in there to make cobbler
Yeah.
for a whole crowd. This is the base of an AM radio tower, and the tower itself is electrically hot, which means if you were to touch it, it would mean instant and very painful death. But this is how we broadcast AM radio.
1946 as a 10 kilowatt, I believe, directional day-night. Later they added 50,000 watts and a 50,000 watt transmitter. When they took out the 50,000 watt transmitter, that back transformer voltage area became the 770 transmitter area. So,
Okay.
yeah, so this was built in 1946. That's the original 1946 phaser cabinet. And then this is an Andrew phaser cabinet original that was added later for the daytime 50,000 watts. Originally they had an RCA 5 kilowatt there. These are the original crystals for that transmitter. It later got shipped down to Portland for KGW. And then when they took that 5 kilowatt out, they put in its place an MW50. When they built, this is the original GE transmitter. The GE transmitter was here, which was a 50,000 watt transmitter, and it occupied the whole back, those high voltage transformers. In the 80s, they added some television equipment, which later they don't use here anymore. Right now, this is the 1090 side, which is KFNQ Sports Radio, owned by CBS. Soon to be owned by Intercom, I guess. This is the NX50 they installed 3 years ago. And they literally stuck it in the cabinet of the MW50. The cabinet for the MW50 actually completed part of the air plenum. So rather than take out the MW50 frame and rebuild that plenum, they left the frame. And I'll flip on the back light, but when you poke your head in the back, you'll see the actual MW50 frame. And then this is all the equipment associated with the 1090 operation. The 770 is just on the other side here. This is my generator transfer stuff for the 1090 side. I have to open up that cabinet to see the phase loss relay indicator. And this is the 770. So back here would have been the modulation transformer and everything for the GE. We got a DX50 for 770 and a 5 kilowatt that runs at night. That's the phasing cabinet. All the diplexing equipment is out at the base of the towers. And this has been a fairly solid transmitter. Air handling. Kind of one of the interesting things about this cabinet, and you have to watch out there, but it's plexiglass.
Can't reach in it.
Yeah, if you want to see if your camera can handle RF. There's 50 kilowatts on that coil.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I try not to look at the common point meter longer than I have to. And then this loops around back into what we call the 1090 side. This would have been their shop area for parts and stuff. And again, when this was built, no remote control, so they had to have an on-site person, which they would stay in that little bedroom area.
Wow.
So that, this is your shop area. Again, there was no, local place back in the 30s. It's still running.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
They built them like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Huh.
And of course, when they ripped out the GE, they put, their 1090, and this still runs. It's the backup for that thing.
So this is also a 50?
Yeah, this is the 50.
And it's so much smaller. Is this solid state?
Like I said, if you look, it's in the back of the MW50.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my.
Like I said, the field service came, we got to take the sides of the transmitter off. And I'm like, great. But I was able to get them off. Again.
I have to say, I get into a lot of things.
And I walked over there and that transfer switch had to switch.
Look at this.
And then Marty said, hey, we're on generator.
This one's on the air right now.
So I look at the panel and I see, we're in AC.
You can see the needle bouncing with the modulation of the AM waveform.
I go to KJR and it's still on the generator.
Where are we?
950 KJR.
950 KJR. Right in there, alrighty. Ooh-wee.
Yeah, this counts as Marty, so.
That's it.
That's the biggest phaser I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Wow. so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Sounded great on the air.
had a few of those. It's kind of, that thing's kind of needed some new tubes probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I kind of, you know, like take care of this one, then you have a whole wall of wax.
This stuff now. Yeah, that's good stuff. It's actually more than a customer of mine. I want to see more of that stuff.
Wow. This is a generator power transfer. MDG.
There's your problem. K7 dropped out. That's pretty good.
Can't get this thing going. You guys help me?
Yeah, did you try kicking it? That always worked for me. Right in the right place. Don't touch your finger right there.
When's the last time you walked inside the train?
And you know, like I said, Cairo had authority, so I never saw a modulation transformer. You know, we had 3 big transformers like this in the vault for the plate. But that would have been the modulator reactor. And you know, again, if you know the Fisher family, Fisher Flower, this was kind of their pride and joy, and you know, they've taken very good care of it. Sinclair has done the same thing. And now they've got the solid state replacements. Cairo had a solid state replacement for their mercury vapors. And on the Cairo Western Electric, it was pretty much open in the back. You had, all of this would have been open, and this would have been blank panels. So I guess this would have been an RF out right here.
It's amazing. Now you can do the same thing with that
Yeah.
size of a refrigerator.
Yeah. Trust me, when I came here and saw this, I know, I think that like impressed me. Originally, they had a 5-kilowatt RCA sitting there, and they took that out, and there was a 316B10 Continental sitting here. They got the 6.
Crosses over Little Bear Creek to south of 522, and then State Route 900 also shut down right now, east of 164th Avenue Southeast over Creek.
Hey, it's your money. A career builder survey finds women are making
Of course, remember calling news and overnight traffic every 10 minutes on the force. Coffee stands are the target of a woman breaking in and terrifying baristas. Allison Dukes is the owner of Sweet Cheeks Espresso in the morning.
She took her phone, she took her car key.
On top of that, they had the house.
Oh, my lanes. That's very cool.
Now, normally, back when this first started, would there be 2 guys on duty or 1 at a time?
Probably 2. Because again, they were in the same situation in Cairo.
This was a bedroom.
FCC was making 40.
Yes. There's a closet back there. Yes.
You know, I remember my dad would have to take the license, and I believe they had that for batteries. Still hot water cooled here? No, this was always air cooled. They had the still, I believe, for batteries.
Oh.
You said the water here
Matter of fact, the Cairo 316 had a monorail above it. But again, you know, you were stuck out here, you had to do everything yourself.
Yeah.
Very good.
Can I borrow something from you?
Yeah, well, Cairo and Como had a good working relationship here on the island. For some reason, there was bad blood with the King engineering staff, and I don't know if that had to do with Corporate Bullet. And going through some of the King files and kind of getting how that operated, you know, I kind of compared just without talking to any other historian.
Brand new is a relative term.
Yes. New old stuff.
New old stuff.
Yeah.
Unused, you mean?
Brand
But
new.
yeah,
Yeah,
unused.
NOS.
Matter of fact, when they lost a tube socket in their Continental, this is going fire just how well they got along. This is another one of the you know, my dad was one of them that had to help toss and throw some of the stuff, and I'm glad they kept that stuff from the 40s because it's, you know, Jim Hatfield really got into some of the old stuff. He was saying, well, I want, you know, if I had this, and I just came back out and said, here it is, Jim. You know, he said it's like talking with his dad again.